and welcome to the broadcast. This is of course Channel 8, the local sports network. We are about to see ball one here from the childcare end. Here we go. Ball one. Whoa! Big full toss outside the off stump. Tried to play a extravagant cover drive, but missed it. So dot ball to start the day's proceedings. Okay, comes into bowl and left outside the off stump. And now coming into the commentary box again, we have my co-commentator, Damien, Hayden, Haydos. Welcome, Haydos.
G'day, Chukka. It's good to be back up here. It's a good trip down to have a chat with the Diamond Creek side. They're all talking about the batting of the overs today.
Batting out their overs. That is a very worthy target. Comes into bowl and left alone outside the off stump.
So on strike at the moment, we've got Steve Farrer there. Very dangerous batsman there. Unfortunately, made a golden duck in the opening game for G4, and Sean Russell at the other end.
Sean Russell, okay.
Bowling moment as well is Lacey.
Lacey comes into bowl, and it's on the pads, but it's going down the leg side, dot ball.
Getting pretty tight so far there, Lacey there. Would probably be about that medium fast to fast medium sort of pace there.
Yes, certainly. I like his wrist action. He seems to be trying to get the ball to swing. Lacey into bowl. And it's a full toss and it's driven through the covers, and the fielders will have to really run for it, and it's just pulled up before the boundary, and they collects it in for 2.
Nicely played there from Farrer there. Playing right through the shot there. A little bit surprising he didn't get to the boundary, but that's probably because of the a little bit of heavier grass due to the rain during the week.
So it's a good start. So there's been 2 full tosses so far from Lacey in his opening over. Definitely trying to get the ball full and swinging. Good attitude. Lacey into bowl. Left alone outside the off stump, and that's the end of the over. It's none for 2. Okay, so we're coming into the second over, and coming from the river end, it looks like we have McKinnon, left arm bowler, it appears.
Pretty standard field, having 5-3 field due to having one player who is running late.
Okay, McKinnon to bowl. And it's a hip ball, short at the hip, but tried to play the hip glance, but missed it. And instead it was picked up by the wicketkeeper for a dot ball. Our one slip, a wide-ish gully, then only 2 fielders in the covers in front of square on the offside. As McKinnon into bowl. And another ball that's down and leg side and wide. Tried to play the pull shot this time and missed it again.
They've actually got 2 men out for the hook there, so they can expect McKinnon to be digging in short. Perhaps attack it there for Russell's pull shot, perhaps just a little bit of conservative fielding while he gets his rhythm going.
McKinnon into bowl, and it's pulled, and it's going down to the fine leg, and it's 4.
It's actually quite tricky to bowl short here because of the fact that while the square of the wicket boundaries are quite long, straight down, including where the hook shot area is actually quite short there. So all it took was just being the fielder, and there was no chance of actually recovering there. So I would have thought maybe start him on the fence as opposed to having him at the three-quarter position.
He is quite in from the boundary.
Would almost save a single.
There's McKinnon to bowl. And left alone outside the off stump.
Much better areas there for McKinnon there. He's got to get it around about that 4th or 5th stump line. That way if it comes back in, it can still hit the off stump. But if it jags away, his batsman will still think about playing.
As McKinnon into bowl. And, oh, that moved a little bit.
And that's it. If you pitch on that full sub line there, batsman's not going to leave it in case it is coming back in or in case it keeps low there. So it forces the player to ball that you could probably leave if it was a right arm in the same channel.
Now, that was a significant swing, but they don't have a field for that sort of movement, either for the straight ball or for the in-swinger. As McKinnon into bowl. And it's a full toss, and it's driven through the covers. And that's 4. Like, these hits are so fast that the camera cannot pick them up. End of the over, it is none for 10. So the 11th player for Lower Plenty has made it onto the field, and here's they've adjusted, so now there's a second slip and 3 fielders in the covers on the offside. So Lacey for his second over. And left alone outside the off stump.
Really important for Lacey to make sure that they get Farah to play there. He is prone to getting caught, especially early in his innings there. But if he gets an opportunity to get himself set by leaving alone those wide ones, he can certainly be very dangerous and turn his low scores into big scores.
Lacey into bowl. And blocked into the covers. Dot ball there. Yeah, so 2 slips. Deepish point, orthodox cover, mid-off, mid-on, gully-ish, square leg, fine leg. Very, very run-of-the-mill field that we've got here. As Lacey into bowl. And left alone, it seemed to move, and the wicketkeeper had to adjust in order to collect the ball after it started swinging towards first slip.
Hasn't been quite the carry so far though. That's a challenge for wicketkeepers, especially here at Mungroup there. You know, we're used to being perhaps a bit further back. Well, maybe you have to take a half pace closer here at Mungroup.
As Lacey comes into bowl. And it's on the pads, and they're going to steal a leg by. That was definitely not going to hit the stumps there. Farah is batting much more to the leg stump area, so there's very little chance, unless he's really committed to the front foot, that he's going to go out OEW, and it was very, incomplete appeal, you would say.
It pretty much has to be hit on the toe in these F-grade games to be out leg before.
Lacey into bowl, and well defended off the back foot, straight to gully for a dot ball.
Certainly have a long way of his batting there, Russell there. Well, found himself in the lower order there in his early part of his career, but has made the move to opening the batting there, and I think it's a good move for him. Give him a bit of confidence.
And now the sun has come out. The sun is burst through the clouds. Lacey into bowl. And it's nice and full in the block hole, and was able to defend it for a dot ball. End of the over. It is 11, none for 11. And so we're coming into the 4th over now. We've got the 2nd over from McKinnon, and we've got the other batsman is to face, so it's got Farah to face his first ball from this end.
McKinnon's got a slight breeze to work with, coming a little bit from right to left of your camera.
Okay, McKinnon into bowl. And down the leg side. Now, McKinnon's action, he is a big slinger, and clearly, and he tries to get his fingers on to the offside of the ball, which means he'll get real big in-swings if it goes right, but if it goes wrong and he just pushes it too far, it'll be down the leg side all the time. As McKinnon into bowl. And down, what was that?
That was straight off the pad there, and that's why the batsman didn't consider the single there.
Oh.
Just to remind everyone, this is a 68 over match there with no particular bowling restrictions for the seniors. The juniors will have their usual restrictions of a maximum of 5 overs per spell.
So it makes sense to have extra protection on the fine leg area because of his bowling style as he comes into bowl, and whoa! Bounced a little extra than the batsman was expecting and kind of hit him in the midriff and dribbled out for a dot ball. So yeah, I'm not sure how he would get a wicket, because unless he bowls a full toss. We can enter bowl, and it's driven through the leg side and it beats the 2 fielders. And I didn't see where that went, but it got 2 runs there.
Just out to mid-wicket there, and it was a good hard chase there out at that region there. Unfortunately, though, for them, they weren't able to cut off the second run there. That was actually picked up by Willoughby Addison there, who we might see later on with the ball.
So, a couple of runs there. Nice drive as McKinnon to bowl. Oh, well. That was, I just said that a couple of balls ago, the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you bowl a nice big full toss, in swinging, and goes through the gate, and that's exactly what just happened.
Well, Farrow would be disappointed with himself there. Wasn't anything particularly fierce about the delivery there. However, he's found himself bowled there, so not a good start to the summer there from Farrow there. Unfortunately, he's the first man out for Diamond Creek.
And, yeah, it was, just bad judgment. Like, the ball, it was clear what McKinnon was trying to do. So you had to realise what the game plan was, and yet you fell for the, plan A, rather than falling for a sneaky trick. It was quite an obvious plan.
Exactly right. It's actually good bowling though. He was under a little bit of pressure from a reasonably poor start there by his own admission there, McKinnon there. A lot of short balls and a lot of ones down leg there, but I got exactly right with that one. And that's the idea. If you can pitch on that 4/5 stump line, you get the batsman worried, and that way if you get one on the off stump, you can do the trick there. As we see Dwyer coming out to the middle there, the number 3.
So, Lower Plenty are definitely demonstrating to us their reputation with a very, very good start for them. And considering the low scoring game that we saw last round at this very ground versus with this very team, Diamond Creek 2, could there be some nerves in the back of their people's minds about what might happen?
You think so, and I think O'Connor may start putting the pressure on there. We can see even mid-wicket creeping up a little bit closer as well, putting the pressure on Dwyer.
I'd like to see a fielder riding close for the ball that's tried to leg glance. As McKinnon to bowl. And whoa! Now that was an interesting ball. We'll have to talk about next over. So it is 1 for 13. So it is the 5th over as Lacey into bowl. Left alone outside the off stump. So that final ball, that seemed to be the ball where you put your fingers on the other side of the ball, so it doesn't, you're not bowling an in-swinger to the right-hander, but instead it just goes straight across the right-hander, and the batsman started to play at it, but then swiveled his bat around.
Exactly right, it's clever left-arm bowling.
Lacey into bowl, and it's short and left alone.
Probably a bit risky to play that shot there. Remember, you do have that deeper gully and also a point there to catch any mistimed cuts, so not a bad thing to put it away in these first few overs.
So, Lacey into bowl. And we'll play off the back foot. Good shot there.
Well defended by Russell there, starting to get himself into his innings there. Found a couple of boundaries there off McKinnon there, but he's probably going to have a harder time against Lacey, more proning on that corridor of uncertainty.
I think Lacey is much more difficult to score off, because if he can hit that exact right length and get the ball to move, it's almost impossible to score off him until the new ball gets old. As Lacey into bowl, it's short and it's left alone. The ball did not bounce as much as you would have expected from that pitch, but
exactly right, and it's probably going to prevent something like a pull shot through mid-wicket there. If it was consistent bounce, you could probably take on that shot there and maybe even force low play into a 4th bound leg side, but with the slightly lower bounce, you probably don't want to take that risk.
As Lacey into bowl. And very well left alone there. The ball not moving as much that time as the other ones, but still definitely moving a bit, so you can notice the swing, think, no, that's not the ball to play at.
Exactly right. I think it'll hang around for a little bit with these overcast conditions.
Lacey into bowl. Whoa! Well, that was deceptive. End of the over. So with a maiden, it is 1 for 13. Okay, so we're coming into the 6th over. McKinnon to bowl from the river end. Oh! Now that ball completely missed the batsman, hit him on the toe, but it was going way down the leg side, so there was no one bothered to appeal, but it completely beat him through the in-swing.
Nice rhythm here, McKinnon there, and this is what they would have been hoping for once he got those couple of loose ones away in the first over.
McKinnon into bowl. And, whoa! Seemed to be a bit of an inside edge onto the pad there. The batsman went for the forward defence shot, was a bit late, and it didn't go through the gate, but it was not properly blocked. So McKinnon definitely getting his line and length right, and he's definitely swinging the ball as he comes into bowl. And it's a full toss, and it's driven through the covers, and it's not got enough juice on it, so it's fielded by there in the cover.
Just him getting himself there going Dwyer. He'll get those through the field if he gets himself in with his eye there. Unfortunately at the moment, not quite the power to get through.
McKinnon to bowl. And it's popped up and it's dropped. Now that ball was outside the off stump, it was swinging in. The batsman tried to play a sort of drive-ish nothing shot. It popped up and the fielder at cover tried to do a rolling catch, but it just did not land, so it was a drop catch. McKinnon to bowl. And a wicket is there. So we've seen the second wicket fall for Lower Plenty after a drop catch. The very, very next ball, a wicket has fallen, short, at the hip, tried to go for the hip glance, top edge, and there at the shortish square leg, another wicket has fallen. Oh dear God, what are we seeing?
Well, we're actually seeing the vulnerability of the Diamond Creek batting line, not quite as deep as they would certainly like it there. Dwyer didn't look quite comfortable there, was probably a little bit lucky to survive the ball before, wasn't great fielding, but a very straightforward catch there to the shortish mid-wicket there, taking it comfortably there. Adam McKenzie will join Russell there in the middle as the number 4 batsman, but really important moment now for Diamond Creek. They've got to get themselves going with a good partnership.
Now, Adam McKenzie, so Adam McKenzie is someone you can rely on because he has scored 19 in game 1 and then 28 in the second innings of game 2, so 2 good scores.
Exactly right there. He was one that didn't get the opportunity necessarily early on. Actually went back to H grade for one game and found himself opening the batting, making a swift 30 score. Has never been back down since, and he's certainly come a long way as a batsman there.
So get into bowl. It's a half volley driven, plodded out into the covers. That same fielder in the covers collects it, and that's the end of the over. It is 2 for 13. Okay, so we're coming into the 7th over. Lacey into bowl, and it's a full toss. No, not quite a full toss. A half volley on the pads. Decided to play a forward block shot and pushed it out for the fielder at mid-on.
Really important job here for Russell to keep himself in there. He's actually matured a lot with his batting there, and so that will be a good example if he can keep it going.
Lacey into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. So, with the 2 wickets have fallen to McKinnon, and Lacey doesn't seem to be as attacking at the stumps. He seems to be happy to swing the ball, outswing us outside the off stump and try and lure the batsman into making a mistake. As Lacey into bowl, and that's one is on the stumps, played off the back foot, defended there.
Just doing a good job here for O'Connor here, Lacey. Just putting it on an area, backing up McKinnon at the other end. Doesn't have to do anything too extravagant there. As long as he can put it in the right areas there, it's all he needs to do in his spell.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing so far. There's Lacey into bowl. And it's played off the back foot, dribbled out, and the fielder at gully collects it in a very more emotional state than he otherwise should be, considering there was no chance of a run. But
good enthusiasm.
Good enthusiasm. So, it's been a while since they've scored a run, have Diamond Creek. As Lacey into bowl. And it's driven off the back foot. Very ugly shot there. Fielded there by the fielder at point. Ball.
To give you an idea, that was the 19th consecutive delivery without a run, and in that time there's been 2 wickets, so really good patch here from Lower Plenty.
Yeah. And the sun has gone back behind the clouds, so we got outcast conditions right now. Lacey into bowl. And it's full, it is at the leg stump, it is blocked off the back foot and fielded there by the fielder at mid-on, sorry. That is at the end of the over, it is still 2 for 13. Okay, so we've got the 8th over, we've got McKinnon from the River End. Same field, only one slip. McKinnon into bowl. And it's a full toss, it's driven to mid-off. Dot ball.
Today's also the welcome back of Country Oval, for those who don't know. They've actually laid the pitch back in, so there is cricket going on across the road there.
Yes, that's why we're here for the F2 game, rather than for the Barclays Shield game. And the F2s are not playing in some backwater somewhere in the middle of nowhere. As McKinnon into bowl, and it's down the leg side. So I am assuming that throughout the home and away season, the tradition is that the ones or the twos will play at Coventry, and then the threes or the fours will play here at Mungrook.
Right you are there, Chuck.
As McKinnon into bowl, and whoa! And another wicket has fallen again, short of a length at the hip. Tries to play a sort of leg glancy shot, top edge. Caught by the same fielder, so we are seeing a disaster here for Diamond Creek 2. 3 wickets down for 13. Oh dear God.
Disaster is the right word there. I'm not too sure why it is so difficult there to play that ball on the hip there. We know we're a fan here of the hip breaker here at Channel 8 there, but certainly don't seem too vicious there, and they seem to be quite difficult there. Mackenzie did not look at all comfortable despite the form he's in there.
So 3 wickets are taken by McKinnon, and he's clearly the more erratic and aggressive one. He'll bowl a terrific ball one ball, and then he'll bowl a bad ball down the leg side the next. So he's the more aggressive one, and yet they haven't found a way to break through this opening bowling partnership in terms of trying to get Lacey away for runs, or in terms of taking full advantage of McKinnon's bad balls. It seems that the opening bowling partnership is just going exactly according to Lower Plenty's plan.
It's a really good choice of bowlers there from O'Connor. Maybe it seems obvious there to those within the group, but certainly is good choice of bowlers there, as we see Petrosino coming out to bat there. Developing player there, coming in at number 5. Has played in some of the lower grades as he's done his apprenticeship there, including last year's premiership there for the G grade side.
So, we've just gone through the first half an hour of play in the day. So, McKinnon into bowl. It's left outside the off stump. Smart.
This is good cricket here from Lower Plenty there. They're right on top. They haven't done really a lot wrong. There was a poor over there for the second over, but apart from that, they've really been hunting here and have certainly earned those 3 wickets there, including the man who seems to have taken 2 of the easiest catches of the summer.
Yes, indeed. As McKinnon into bowl, and it is full. Ooh. That was not a very confident block shot. He sort of kept his weight on his back foot as he tried to push forward to the block. And in the end he did get into position in time to defend it, but he did not look very comfortable there.
Although, how many times did you come to a 3 for 13?
As McKinnon into bowl, and it is down the leg side, and the wicketkeeper more or less stops it, and given a wide. Well, that was a little harsh.
When you think about the left armour there, if he is going to travel it down leg side, it is harder than a right arm bowler pushing it down leg there. So it could be considered overly defensive bowling to push out that wide. So umpire decided it was 2-1 in that instance.
So McKinnon to bowl again. And it is a full ball and played a miss. That seemed like a bit of a sucker ball there, and in the end he missed it. So that's the end of the over. Diamond Creek 2 have advanced to 14. 14 for 3. Okay, Lacey into bowl. Left alone outside the off stump, short of a length. Batsman comfortably in position in order to play that properly. So no dramas there. they've kept to the same field, 2 slips and a gully. They have not tried to do anything more aggressive. Lacey hasn't taken a wicket yet. Into bowl and left alone. Again, it was short of a length outside the off stump. Left alone, the ball was not angled in enough that batsman thought it might hit the stumps, and it didn't really swing far enough away that the wicketkeeper was troubled. So it was pretty much a straightish ball.
Gerald, I'd like to ask you about what you would do in your batting position if you're with this as Lacey in. Now we've got Lacey who's just bowled his 27th delivery and they haven't scored off 26 of them. The leg byer was the exception to that. What would you do as a batsman there if you've got an opening bowler who doesn't look overly tired, so he can keep going for still a few more overs, so he's not as if he's just about to come out of the attack? And what would you do to sort of try and break the trend?
Well, as Lacey comes into bowl. Whoa, playing a miss. Tried to play that off the back foot, even though it was a half volley. So I'm Chukka Wilson, of course. I come in normally at number 5, and what I like to do is I like to, when you're facing a bowler who's bowling line and length like Lacey is, I try to upset him as Lacey comes into bowl. Whoa, playing a miss.
So when you say upset, would you thinking more maybe bat outside your crease or take guard maybe a little bit towards one direction or the other more than usual?
Well, it obviously depends on the situation, but here Lacey is trying to hit back of a length, and he's stopped trying to get the ball to swing in terms of getting the outside edge for the cover drive. He's now bowling short of length, so I think late cut as he comes into bowl and down the leg side. And that's the end of the over. We'll have to continue this conversation next. So it is still 3 for 14. So coming into the 10th over now, and McKinnon is to continue.
Bowling here to Petrosino, who's still yet to get off the mark. He has only faced over 3 deliveries.
McKinnon into bowl and plays and a miss. Now that was an interesting one. It was short of a length, and it started to swing in, and the batsman had to swing his bat out of the way as he noticed the ball was coming towards him rather than moving away. So he wanted the space to play the shot, and he couldn't get it. As McKinnon into bowl, and it's driven, and it goes through the backward point region, and the fielder at Gully collects it, and they'll just get the 1.
This is one thing he'll have to do there, Petrosino. There certainly put some pressure back on lower plenty there. It's a bit surprising though that you wouldn't have a backward point of sorts there for a left armour there. You would have thought that any of those drives could easily square out there, so they might want to look into putting a man there.
As McKinnon into bowl, and defended again off the back foot, even though it was a half volley. So let's have a look. McKinnon in the first game none for 20, in the second 3 for 19, and then Lacey got none for 14 in game 1, and then was demoted down to a lower grade for round 2. As McKinnon to bowl, and defended again off the back foot, and as it dribbles down into the covers. And I don't know why, but Lacey did not bowl in the round 2 and in the lower grades, but he did bat, and he scored 67 not out in the second innings of lower plenty. So I don't know what happened there. It's McKinnon into bowl. And that is the money ball. That full in swinging, just about it off to middle stump, and he decided to play it off the back foot, chopped it down. That is the most dangerous ball that McKinnon can bowl.
He's really going in on his length now. He's come into a really good rhythm, and with the overcast conditions not too hot, he can certainly keep going for a few more overs still.
It's McKinnon into bowl, and again blocked off the back foot and fielded there by the fielder at mid-off. It was a very tight over, just the 1 run off it, so it is 15 for 3. Okay, so we're coming into the 11th over now. It looks like Lacey is going to continue for his 6th over. We have not seen a change of the bowling yet, and we haven't really seen a change of the field yet. Pretty much orthodox stuff. So
not really have to change too much either. It's him doing a good job there for low plenty. Don't have to change too much at this point.
Certainly not. As Lacey in the bowl. and left alone outside the off stump. Definitely, and the conditions are still just as overcast. It's quite dark when you think about it. Most of the clouds are very dark grey with patches of bright white and bright grey here and there. There's Lacey into bowl. And whoa, full outside the off stump, sort of in the half volley cover drive area, and the batsman decided to tuck his bat away for a dot ball. Not tempted to play the cover drive, even though that was probably the ball to drive.
Probably not at this point there, considering the score and the fact that they've got a lot of men there for that cover drive, including that backward point.
Lacey into bowl. Now,
Don't want to travel down the leg side there. Well, gloves behind the wicket there.
yes. So, really, Lower Plenty are in a position now where they can just decide what they're going to be, what they're going to do next. They're in the driver's seat here. As Lacey into bowl, it's short. Oh, and it's gone. Was short of a length, and the batsman tried to play the back foot defensive shot, but the ball started to move a little bit of outswing, not much, but a little bit of outswing. The batsman tried to tuck the bat back into his body, but didn't do it fast enough. A little tickle, and caught behind. Fourth wicket for the Lower Plenty team. Diamond Creek 2 are in a mess.
Look, he's been bowling particularly well, Lacey, and definitely deserved that wicket. Petrosino didn't seem that comfortable out in the wicket there, so in a way I'm not shocked, although I am shocked at the fact that it's been a collapse of 4 for 2 at this point there, so really are flexing their muscles there as an important man of Diamond Creek's lower middle order there. Adam Pollitt has actually walked to the wicket there, and he's got a big job to do with Russell. So, Pollitt, okay, so Pollitt has batted 3 times so far in this season, and he has failed to make double figures, so he scored 5 in the first game, and then 1 and 1 not out in the second game in the derby. So, not that many runs to his name. Not quite. I think he's still yet to get going, and that goes without saying, of course, but he's certainly got some capabilities there, so I'm not surprised they've stuck with him there in that middle order, as opposed to dropping him down the order.
And the sun has come out, burst through the clouds. Now it's a very sunny field. As Lacey into bowl, it's full, and it's bowled! Well, clean bowled, middle stump out of the ground.
That's just fantastic bowling there from Lacey there. Pollitt really showing he's out of form present at this point in time there. Not getting anywhere near it, to be honest with you there. Lob playing right on top here, and that's why they're the flag favourites.
Well, now, I was saying a couple of overs ago that McKinnon was the guy who was taking the wickets, and Lacey was the more defensive bowler who was, building up the pressure at the other end. But suddenly, out of nowhere, Lacey has turned it on, and it's through his fast outswingers that are getting the wickets. First ball short of a length, and the second one a full ball. And so both caught behind and bowled for his 2 wickets. Just excellent fast outswing bowling.
It's been a fantastic exhibition of F-grade bowling there, as we see the man coming out to the middle, the skipper Dave Ramsey there, veteran of Diamond Creek there, over 100 games for the club there. Very competent batsman there. Certainly more for his bowling, but he's done some fantastic jobs.
So Dave Ramsey has not had a very good start to the season. With the ball, he's only taken 1 wicket and his average is in the 80s. But with the bat, he has scored 6 runs and an average of 6. With 6 not out in the first game and a duck in the second game. And a polite round of applause once again for the captain, as always, is the tradition.
We've got a hat-trick ball coming up, and of course, as we know, hat-trick balls are sponsored by our wall removalists there. 5-star wall removals. When you need dog door removed, don't just remove the door, remove the whole wall.
Lacey into bowl, and it's a peel, but it's going down the leg side, and the hat-trick ball, very good hat-trick ball there by Lacey, but unsuccessful, and so Diamond Creek are 5 for 15. End of the over. As McKinnon a false start there.
Bowling to Russell, who's been the anchor this thing so far.
Oh! In swinger, missed, went through the gate between bat and pad, but didn't move in enough to actually hit the stumps, and so it just went to the wicketkeeper. Just great bowling by McKinnon.
It's right on top here, Lower Plenty. Have certainly earned those 5 wickets so far.
As McKinnon into bowl. And it's pulled down the legs, down to fine leg, and the fielder, because he's 2 in, has to run around, and they'll come back for 2. So once again, the fielder at fine leg is not on the fence, was unable to...
First runs that Russell has scored since the 2nd over, and this is the 12th over.
So, McKinnon into bowl, and it's pulled down the leg side, and the fielder at fine leg dives, but is unable to stop it as he walks around, and that is 4 runs.
And that's what Russell can do there. We saw him in the 2nd over there get a couple of pull shots away for some boundaries, and he's done the job again there. So he's really going to have to anchor the innings still, even more so. The fact that he's going to have to bat with the middle and lower order, he's going to have to put himself a big score today.
Now, why don't they... now the fielder is within 10 metres of the fence. As McKinnon to bowl, and left alone outside the off stump.
If I was O'Connor there, John O'Connor, the skipper, I still have him on the fence. The way I see it, there's not going to be 2 to that short boundary there, and the last thing you want is boundaries to Russell give him confidence. Let the single happen, get Ramsey on strike, put the pressure on the new batsman.
Absolutely. It's as McKinnon to bowl. Yeah, definitely. When you're in a situation when you're so on top, you can just afford to concede when you do something wrong, and so having the fine leg on the fence and just saying, if it's a bad ball, we'll just concede 1, it's okay, we're still on top, instead of trying to save the 1. It's McKinnon to bowl, and it's glanced, fielded by their square leg, dot ball. But if you're trying to actually slow down the run rate, that's when you need to save the 1, that's when you have short fine leg. And that's the end of the over, so it's a good over for Diamond Creek. It is 21 for 5. Yeah. Anyway. And left alone outside the off stump.
So Lacey coming in for his 7th over. They might consider the change there, just to get their 3rd and 4th bowls into the game there. It can be a little bit difficult for those change bowlers to back up the opening bowls, especially when they do such a good job.
Yes, so it's going to be interesting who they decide to bowl and what ends. As Lacey into bowl, and it's full and it's driven, and he does not get a good piece of it, so it's a dot ball.
Look, in terms of who they might go with this, I'm leaning towards Caldera. I think he's only an up and coming bowler there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they turn to him next.
Yes. So, Lacey into bowl, and whoa, okay.
Playing a little bit late there, Ramsey there. That's probably one of the things he does do. He does play the ball very late there, which of course does come to an advantage there when he's trying to play it through behind square. So, not a worrying sign that he's playing the ball that late.
Lacey into bowl. Whoa! That ball bounced much more. It was a half volley. He tried to play a front foot straight drive, but it just left. It left the bat. It missed the outside edge, and then it bounced higher. So the wicketkeeper had to take it around his shoulder.
It's really clever bowling here from Lacey. Definitely doing a really good job for his skipper.
Lacey into bowl. And it's that's the sucker ball, half volley out wide outside the off stump, and he drew the batsman in, but it was way too late for it, so it was a play and miss.
It's that 5th ball, the over there. There's actually been 3 of the 5 wickets on that 5th ball, and that was the 5th ball again, the play and miss. So just something about that 5th ball.
Lacey really on top of his game here as he comes in for the last ball of the over, and left alone, smart batting there. So that's the end of the over. It is 21 for 5.
Ducked out.
Okay.
Try and listen to them.
So we've got a change of the bowling. Looks like a pace bowler, right arm, bowling over the wicket at the river end. Comes into bowl. And it's a cut shot, bottom edge, beats the keeper, and it goes down to fine leg for 1 run. Fire sirens are in the background here. Here's his second ball. Defended off the front foot. Dot ball. Comes in for his third ball. And it's driven, it's a full toss and it's straight driven, and the fielder at mid-off and mid-on have to run around, and they're going to pick it up just before the boundary, and they come back for 2 there.
Tony bowling so far there from Anderson there, the first change bowler. Hasn't had quite the wickets he'd like at the start of the summer there if we have a look back at his season so far.
So, Anderson, Addison, or Anderson, okay, so
Anderson.
Yep. So he played in a lower grade in the game 1, none for 26. Comes into bowl. And it's driven again, this time fielded by the bowler for a dot ball. And then in the second game, in round 2, he did play for this team in the F2 for Lower Plenty, and he took a 1 for 24. So in terms of his season stats for all grades, he has 1 wicket for 50. Into bowl, and it's pulled down the fine leg, and it beats the fielder, and they're going to go for 2, are they? No, they don't.
That's another problem there with having that short fine leg as opposed to one on the boundary there. Another misfield where potentially, if he was a little bit further back, he even could have put the pressure on a 1 as opposed to a comfortable 1.
Look, it just doesn't make any sense to have fine leg in so much. You're gaining nothing, and it's a big risk. As Anderson bowls. It's a full toss and it's driven through the covers, and once again the fielders in the covers are able to swarm in and stop it. So it was an interesting opening over, so 4 runs off it, so it is 25 for 5. Okay, so this is the 15th over. Still half an hour to go before the drinks break. And way down the leg side.
Certainly have gone through their overs quite quickly there. We also have a slightly early start to the play today, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had an earlier finish than the usual 5:30 PM Australian Daylight State Time.
It's currently 1:38, so we've had 40 minutes, so we would normally have 10 overs of play so far as he bowls it, and it's full driven. So yeah, so definitely we would expect about 10 overs to have been bowled in the 40 minutes. But it's 15 overs, so much faster than otherwise.
Normally in these guys, they normally get through about 17 an hour there, so good to see that they're getting through the overs quickly. We've got more time to talk about the cricket.
Comes into bowl, and it's down the leg side and fielded there by fine leg. It was a full toss, hit them on the toe, dribbled out to fine leg for a leg bye. Definitely it wasn't swinging enough in order to hit the stumps. It was going down the leg side. Considering the angle, considering it hit him on the full rather than hitting him on the half volley, there's just no way. Comes into bowl and left alone outside the off stump. So Lacey is continuing to bowl while McKinnon is not, and so that makes sense when you've got your more attacking bowler to only bowl the shorter spells, and your more defensive conservative bowler to bowl the longer spells to keep the pressure going at this end, at the childcare end. As Lacey into bowl, and again full at the stumps, played off the back foot, defended.
We're seeing some of that maturity there from Russell. Was a lot more aggressive there when he was coming in that low order batting. But since he's gone up to open the batting, he certainly has come a long way there. And we're seeing a bit of it today, even though his teammates have fallen around him.
Lacey into bowl. And defended again off the back foot. So a smart over by Lacey. Just the leg by off it, so it is 26 for 5. Okay, so this is the 16th over. Anderson is to continue to bowl from the river end. And it hits him on the pad, but no appeal, even though that looked pretty straight.
Probably a bit too high, I would have thought there. It seemed to be above the knee roll there of Ramsey, so I'm not surprised, especially in these F grades, that they're not going to jump up and down like a clown at this point.
So, Anderson in to bowl. And it's driven straight to mid-off for a dot ball.
Shown a bit there, Anderson there. I know his figures this season haven't quite reflected it, but he's just starting into his work of his season there. Found his first wicket there, it was last week, and he's bowled pretty well today so far, even though he's only bowled the 8 deliveries.
What will his role be in terms of this bowling unit? So he comes into bowl. And whoa! Short. I don't know if it swung or was just angled, but it was short. It looked like it was outside the off stump, and then it came in at the right-hander, and he had to swerve away because it ended up pitching at about his chest in terms of leg stump. So it came in at the batsman one way or the other. Anderson into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump.
And considering the role that you were talking about what he'll do, I think he'll be one of those ones to come at the batsman there. One of the players that come to mind is Englishman Ben Stokes. One of those bowlers that don't necessarily have a large amount of tricks in the kitty, but certainly just come at you and at you and at you.
You see, into bowl, and pulled. Oh, is that a drop catch?
Perhaps I think it's it. We'll have a look at the replay, see if he got a hand to it, and that's the risk of having the short fine leg. That still does seem unnecessary, as we've talked about a lot during the telecast there. It seems to just be giving away a boundary there, so they've probably lost about, say, 10 runs already with having a short fine leg as opposed to a deep one. Considering they're on 30, it's actually quite a large percentage there, but still reasonably well played by Ramsey, nothing wrong with the shot.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a defensive fielder if you feel like you can afford it. As he comes into bowl, and it's driven off the half volley, and what happened there?
Well, it was not particularly well fielded, but yeah, not a quick single on off.
The fielder at cover, for some reason, did not bend his knee to try and field that, and just said Josh tried to kick it, and he missed it. Anyway, no run cost there, so it's 5 for 30, end of the over.
Hold you up, and I'll make sure.
Okay, so we've got a change of the bowling here at the childcare centre end. Comes into bowl for his first ball. And short, wide, and it's a bye. The keeper, and it's 4 byes. Wow. What a weird start.
Not exactly riveting cricket there. Caldera pitching a little bit short there for his first delivery. Didn't seem to have that carry, and the keeper didn't seem like he was willing to come up for it, and it had that awkward bounce there where, as a keeper, if you have the soft hands, you can actually get it up there. But if you don't get down to it, it can easily travel.
As he comes into his second ball. And so far, Channel 8 have had the routine of only referencing one and no more, no less international cricketers. So in game 1 here at Margaret Oval, we referenced Chris Harris. And then at the game for the G4, I mentioned that Evans has a bowling style a little bit like Aravinda De Silva. And now we've got Ben Stokes, so one reference each game.
No more.
Comes into bowl. It's short, wide, left alone.
Not exactly the same cricketers either, those three that we've mentioned so far. Quite different.
Yes. And the sun has come out again, and now the sun is sort of going behind the clouds. It's coming out again. It's changing every couple of minutes. but it's still not hot. Comes into bowl. And whoa, that one came in a little bit, not too much, not enough to worry the batsman, but just enough that he had to make sure that he shifted his gloves out of the way.
Pretty good pace there from Caldeira. He was the man who held on to two of the three easiest catches in the summer. I think Bellingham last game got one that was actually remarkably easy behind the stumps, but Caldeira doing a good job of the ball with his pace so far.
Comes into bowl and will defend it off the back foot. So yes, Caldeira did not play at all in the seniors in round 1, and then in the second game in round 2 he played for this team, the F2s, and he took 2 for 17 against the Mill Park. As he comes into bowl, and a bad ball there, short, wide, no pace on it, dribbles out to the keeper for a dot ball. And so for the 4 byes off the over, so it is 5 for 34, and it appears they're taking an early drinks break.
Yeah, normal to take it at the 17 over mark, regardless of the time.
Okay, alright. So we're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back we've got the second half of the first session. So this is Channel 8. Okay, so there have been 17 overs bowled. The score is 5 for 34, and they're just coming back on from the drinks break now. So in a moment we will take you back to the play.